What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Total Specialist. Week 2 coming at you on the first day here with the top set of Ford RP7. 305 on the bar. And I was a little concerned, actually, going into this weight because I was like, man, I am pushing this. Is it really going to be a 7? I don't know. But if you look at this last rep here, I think it was pretty strong. Honestly, maybe even not a 7. Huh? I don't know, but I played it safe. I was like, you know what? That was heavy. It was good, but it was heavy, so I'm going to call it there. We had back off 285. Got all 4 sets without having to drop. Again, also, was afraid I was going to have to drop on these. Because I think this is like a ridiculous amount of volume for me recently. So I was like, man, I don't really know if I'm going to be able to hit all these. But once again, everything felt great. And then I looked back at my logbook and I had realized at least the 305 was a match for my best set of 305 ever, which is when I was doing a upper body only program because I had injured my back 4th of July last year. So this is some of the most heavy weight that I've lifted in a year ever since injuring myself. And, well, now that I'm armed with that knowledge, I'm kind of pissed off that I didn't chip this or something and get a 4-rep PR here, a little cheeky, but I guess that'll come next week. Overall, great bench session. Moved on to incline dumbbell press. Moved up to the 80s from last week. As I mentioned, we are linearly progressing these, but I don't know how many more jumps we're going to get because there's no fractional loading on the dumbbells after a certain weight. So the next jump would be 85. And let me tell you, these 80s felt like a ton of bricks. Now, was it a 7 to 8, which is what the RPE was supposed to be for these? I'm not too sure. I don't think so, personally. So I think there is some room to jump. But, you know, when you get to those dumbbells, the 5 pounds on each side, that's a pretty big jump, you know, for any movement, really. It's 10 total pounds. So we'll see what happens next week. But I'm pretty confident that I'll at least get my 3 sets of 10 at the selected RPE. And then for the 4th set here, we had that AMRAP. The program wanted me to do 72 pounds, but of course, like I said. So I kept it at 70 pounds again, just because, you know, I rounded down this time. And AMRAP to an RPE 7, and I got 16, which is, I guess, technically the same as last time because the RPE was supposed to be the same, or supposed to be a little bit less. Like, that was the RPE 6, this is RPE 7, so I got extra reps, so it makes sense. So technically, it didn't make any progress. But in absolute terms, I did lift 1 more rep. So, hey, there you go. That's a PR for me. And then we had these plate-loaded machine chest supported rows. We had a top set and then 3 back downs. Now the top set I did 120 on each side. So that's a 10-pound total jump, 5 pounds on each side. And I got 8. And man, I have not done heavy rows in a while, man. It feels weird. I got the back downs at 95 just because I was going for more reps. So last week I did 3 sets of 10. This week I wanted 3 sets of 12, but I got 2 sets of 12 and a set of 10 because the last set was like I hit the RPE cap, but it was tough. And that's because, you know, like I mentioned just previously, the strength curve on rows is so weird. And like in that middle range when you're like really having to tug with all your might, it like the slowdown, that's honestly something that I have not experienced in a while. I'll be perfectly frank with you guys. Like that just means that I haven't been pushing the rows really hard, obviously. But you don't get this kind of like fatigue on a barbell row, I feel, because on a barbell row, it's just too easy to cheat. So you need to use the cables or the machines like this to really feel that like slowdown. Like guys who do like to absolute failure dumbbell or barbell reps, hats off to you guys. You guys are the mans or the women's. I don't know. Anyway, wide grip lat pull downs, 130 pounds, 5-pound bump from last time. Kind of upset with these. And the reason is because usually I'm very consistent in my touch with the lat pull downs, but as we're getting into the fatigue, I'm feeling like my reps are a little inconsistent. Also, I've done wide grip lat pull downs for a long time now. Like almost like a couple of years straight of just like that's my primary pull down variation because of my size. Going more narrow actually, like I feel like I'm choking. Like no joke. So maybe I'm just sick of the movement, you know. But we banged him out. This last set was pretty heavy. I'm not sure if I call it an 8 in the sense that I think I might have been a little like closer to failure. And I'm stopping a little short on these reps, but I feel like I'm still getting a good enough range for hypertrophy purposes. So we're okay in that regard, but I would like to be more consistent. Then we had our giant set here. For the laterals, I didn't want to pick the 30s. I wanted the 27.5s, but they were taken. So I had no choice but to pick the 30s, and they're heavy, man. I don't really like doing heavy laterals because I don't really feel like the side delt's getting, the engagement that it needs. And I feel like it's too easy to cheat. But I had no choice, so I banged out 3 sets of 12 with those. The second exercise is preachers. I probably should have gone downstairs, grabbed the adjustable easy bar and done 45. Because this 50, again, surprisingly very difficult. So I only got 3 sets of 10 here, and then finished off this triple set with a tricep pushdown. These were no problem. 65 for 3 sets of 12. And I think the real culprit here is me being super strict with the rest times. Like that is why my fatigue is building like crazy. Finished off the workout with some machine crunches. Like I said, we're supposed to do GHD crunches, but I can't do that. So did machine crunches today because we got cable crunches later in the week. I was supposed to do 15 to 20 reps. And I loaded 150 pounds on these. Got a set of 17, a set of 18, and a set of 16. And my abs were in such pain. Like I hadn't taken like these things to failure in a long time. But yeah, I mean, I've been super strict with my rest times today, and I think that's why the density is increased. And overall, this was one of the best workouts I've had in a while, like solo. It was tough, but it was great. I was pumped the whole time. I was feeling good. And I can't wait to see what happens next time. Because we got SBD. Oh my God.